Revere, and welcome to our Revere Veterans and Community Show. Today I have a special guest, a young lady by the name of Cheryl Whittredge. First, let me say welcome to the show, Cheryl.
Thank you, Mr. Morris.
Thank you for coming. Now, you are the third person to run for mayor. We have Mayor Dan Rizzo, Brian Arrigo, and you, Cheryl. So tell us about yourself.
Thank you.
Introduce yourself.
Yes, my name is Cheryl Whittredge. I'm a candidate for mayor, and I am ecstatic to be in have this opportunity and position. I'm hoping to be my sense is that I would be a candidate and a mayor as affirmative action within the city, meaning towards public safety, education. I'd like to see more of a creative learning sense for children starting very young, also vocational areas, and also public safety, as again, is a big concern of mine. I'd like to have more sit-down discussions with municipality and departments. I'd like to also I strongly, since I've been campaigning, I've also been several areas of the city already, and I hear that there's change needed. I'd like to particularly speak of Revere Beach as well. We can always, I think we need to be more open-minded about who we have as a mayor. We've already had Mayor Rizzo has a candidate, and he's also a mayor. Brian Arrigo, he's been on the council. Now we have an opportunity September 1st to vote for myself, Cheryl Whittredge. It would be a new candidate, new face, new change. Because from what I'm understanding, and as I have lived in the city, I have no negative or derogatory towards any of the candidates, but I just feel that a change for a new candidate and someone who hasn't had a chance or opportunity to be in office may be maybe a long shot, in a gamble sense. Mr.
Right.
Morris, what do you suggest here?
Okay, let me ask you, if you were mayor, let's say you were mayor, what would you do? I got a list of items here I would like to ask you. If you were mayor, first of all, what would you do about the housing situation?
I would sit down with members, whoever was whoever director, whomever I needed necessarily to speak with. Let me say this. Tonight I am not of perfect speech, although I was well prepared. I don't know if it's probably overwhelming, very overwhelming. But
I hope it's not because of me, Cheryl.
Oh, yes. And I have a lot of admiration for veterans. My grandfather, two grandfathers, and myself, having a sense of the long struggle and hurdles we've had. So with that being said, I really have a sense of community to why another reason for being on the ballot. And I really appreciate the help of the community who assisted in me with my initiative. Children are a very important factor within a neighborhood, community,
Definitely.
Family.
That's
Would you
right.
agree? Would you agree, Mr.?
Definitely. Not only are they important, they are our future.
Exactly, and how we raise them from the start. So that is another social conflict.
And you've had a lot of contacts with children. By the way, talking about contacts, I see you have some books there. Could you elaborate on that for us a little?
Well, due to this being a community of Revere citizens, and we have diversity, and I just thought that this may be of more, it's more of a storytelling in a sense. Let's start with, let's see, I have 101 Dalmatians.
I like that. I like that, the dogs.
Here we go. 101 Dalmatians. So this is a story.
Why did you pick 101? Because I can't count that high, Cheryl.
Oh! Well, if we think, we probably can try. But can
I look at that for a
minute?
Yes,
you certainly may,
Thank
sir.
you. Wow. That's fantastic. And let's see. That's good.
I believe it represents family in people who are who wanted within our community wanted to start out as family and to understand the struggles that we have had from past, but we can with a new mayor. I mean, we've had the tornado. It went straight up Broadway.
Talking about tornado, hold on for 1 second.
Yes.
Today is the anniversary of the tornado, exactly a year ago today, July 28th.
Yes. Well, I think as well as for businesses, and it's very, I can't imagine. We need to be, as I say, public safety. We need to be prepared. We've had storms in recent years. Very
heavy snowstorms just this past winter.
Exactly. When would it? Did you think of when it would stop?
Did it stop? Did it stop?
Yes, I believe so. Now we're in the heat process of it as we speak this evening. But no, I think again we need to be prepared. Our emergency response team as well. If we need to have, here's speaking of public safety, and the thought comes to mind: fiscal budget, expenditures, a big key. I also infrastructure. These are issues that they sound great on paper. We need someone who with leadership, and I believe myself will bring this to the table. No, I'm not going to give numbers right now. I don't have numbers before me. I have my sense of ability, and that's why I'm hoping for the citizens in Revere to vote me as one of the candidate, because again, there are 3, already 2 have been in office. And I am on the ballot as the 3rd. Now, being of a female, so my being a female, I have interests as children, women that are struggling. Myself, I've come from a family where we didn't have much money. We've had divorce in the family. Now this gets into social conflict, sociology within the community. Very important part. I've walked in Beachmont. I've walked towards Broadway, Shirley Avenue area. So there's areas that we really need to still do some work. And as mayor, I would like to take action. I know we have funding. We have so many departments already. We have resources. Let's reach within our city, local businesses. We need to have a mayor, and as myself, I will get in, I will speak with businesses. I have already made myself known to some extent. So with that being said, we have diversity, such as we are overpopulated, is what I mean to say. We are overpopulated. We have neighborhoods that still, I live in the area towards the beach, Winthrop Avenue currently. We have housing that are left untended. We have people who are looking for housing. We have programs. These need to be implemented by affirmative action through leadership. Counseling. I will be of one to sit down with counsel. In fact, I am going to implement the necessity of this for all parts of municipalities and government. I need to speak to each department. I need to make myself known that I am of...
Can I ask you a question,
yes,
Cheryl,
sir.
if I may? If you were mayor, would you take some of these houses and have them fixed up and give them to families that really need them? I mean, I don't mean give it to them. I mean, rent it to them at a low rate or something to that effect.
And Mr. Morris, I believe, as a veteran, through years, we've come up with HUD, Section 8. We have state funding.
Right.
We have large apartments. And speaking of houses, zoning and ordinance, we certainly need to. I need to, as mayor, if I do become elected September 1st, as a candidate, one of 2, because one will be eliminated. And as I said, 2 have already been in office. I have also in 2010 had want to be a mayoral candidate, I decided that I would sit a spell to see exactly what we truly do if I do decide to be mayor. So I said to myself, I live in Ward 1. There's an opportunity. I will take charge, implement, speak with the neighbors, campaign, which I had. So I was on the ballot again. Also, Councilor at Large. There was an opportunity.
Did you ever run for councilor at large?
I have, yes. And so, as I say, here again, getting back to Council at Large, infrastructure. I want to sit down with the council as mayor and discuss the necessity of not overpopulizing our city, nor build the infrastructure. We have to sit down and discuss. We need money. We have funds. I know myself that I can reach within the city. And speaking of such, employment. We have local businesses. We have graduates getting DPW. We can initiate in education at home first. I strongly believe families, yes, residents in Revere, Massachusetts, individually, with family, without, these are so strong issues for me to work with individuals. I can't emphasize enough. I know this might sound a bit rancid. I'm exhausted a bit because I've been at the Sandcastle, which someone may have heard already, or if they haven't been televised, well, that's a bit of my personality too. I mean, I have some creative, and I still have a bit of campaigning to do, so you're going to see me out there in all sorts of get-ups, and not only that, there is a serious side to me. I am also trying to get together some sort of a natural health endeavor. I know that there's a grassroots, which happens to be in Melrose, from where Mayor Rizzo is from. So I had spoken briefly with a lovely woman, and she started a business, as I said, from grassroots with thoughts, as I have. And I said, gee, I have that admiration to do in inspiration.
It's funny you mentioned businesses.
In health. Yes, sir.
Mayor Rizzo has a business in Revere, or he did, if he still has it, the insurance, and he lives in Revere. But you mentioned he came from Melrose at one time?
There is a business in Melrose, it is on Green Street, Natural Health, and I have some pamphlets and paperwork on it, and I also have studied in natural health. Unfortunately, I've had an accident in 1995. And I reached out, so I think a lot of natural health and alternative medicines, and I have to say, Mr. Morris, as a veteran as well, and myself working mother, single, insurance costs are very high. Again, residents in Revere, I'm not asking you to reach out of your pockets. I'm hoping you're well aware, because I haven't had a fundraiser, and I don't intend to have any fundraisers. As I said, there's expenditures. We have, as a mayor right here in the city of Revere, that would be for me to decide once if, in fact, I do become mayor. But again, I can't emphasize enough. Please think of who you are going to vote on September 1st. Again, children, insurance costs, feeding your children. I'd like to see us... I'm in favor of any type of programs which are to help people, children, grow healthy. That's the way we have leadership. We have our neighbors. We want to see people happy, healthy, homes, shelter, clothing. There's another factor, merchants. If I have to call someone, I don't have any volunteers here, then I have to call. If I have to reach Boston, if I need to reach Washington, if I need to get out there, which I am, to get some initiative started, and I can't do so if I am not elected, not only on the ballot as preliminary elector, also for the candidate on November 3rd. As the final decision.
Would you be like the people's mayor, if I may ask you?
Yes, I would.
Because some mayors, couldn't get to talk to them. Some, like the last three mayors that we've had that I know of, has...
I'm itching to answer, Mr.
No.
I'm very compulsively, I can't hold back. Yes, I would, sir, yes. And I'll tell you, it isn't a matter of the flag. It just happens to be our earthly desire, perhaps, or since birth. It's something that I really strongly believe in. I believe in that every individual in Revere, no matter what your nationality or origin is, needs to be heard. Because let's face it, if you're voting for someone as a candidate, frankly, you're looking for leadership, and you're in despair. If you have no, well, for instance, if there's fire, we have fire department. How are they? We need a support team. We need, as a community, it starts from our individual, our family, education, what our beliefs are. We need to have strong community. Yes, I will be out. I'm not going to be the type of mayor, although I might be busy on one matter or issue, but I'm going to have designated people as well. And I'm going to, and if I can't, I have to do it myself. I'm going to have to answer all calls. I have to be in the community. I have to be in every part of Revere. I have to speak with people. It isn't a matter of who. It isn't a matter of old-time politics. No. Again, as I said, I've lived in Revere. I really am not here to promote my own.
You're doing a good job, though. But I mean, you.
What can I say, Mr. Morris? What can I say other than I really feel strongly of this candidacy, and I'm eager to have the candidacy. I'm hoping that citizens, I'm trying to reach out by my words and just expressing
okay, then let me
there is need of change. In all, excuse me, sir, this is another strong issue that we need to have. I also have educated, and before the education, as being a resident, and just acknowledging, and through my children, in seeing of the drinking age, liquor commission. I've spoken briefly to the liquor commission. We really need to sit down. We need to, it isn't a matter of pros or cons. There comes a time where it's a matter of leadership.
Cheryl,
yes.
if you were mayor, I got a few questions that I'd like to ask you.
Yes, sir.
You're mayor, what would you do about the traffic problem in Revere as mayor?
As mayor, I'd have to speak with the people in charge, basically
the commission,
DOT. Exact. I'd have to not just speak. I'd have to have agenda. I'd have to, if it took a week, a month. Sometimes it does. I'm speaking now to the residents of Revere. Sometimes there are situations where any of the council currently involved in mayor, we're not getting heard of it's spontaneous. No, be patient, please. We do our best, such as emergency response as well. But the facts are that we need to have the residents know, and we need the residents confident in who they are voting for. And as far as traffic flow, yes, I may have to close. You may have to open up old areas. For instance, on Malden Street area, I see that they're tearing down Boulder. We may need to reconstruct. That is doable. How? But we need to start from our youth up to adults.
Question I'd like to ask you.
And if I need to reach out for funding and program, and certainly. But we have local businesses. That's another, as I say, back to children. Children want something to do through the youth in recreation. There's a department already. This is why I'm trying to give back to I want the citizens of Revere and community as a whole to know there is presiding and overseer, but at the same time, I want you to sense from my candidacy, and when I do become mayor, or if I, at least, I've tried to propose.
Okay, now I got to ask you a question.
To the current government, yes.
Could you give us a little brief? You grew up in the city of Revere?
Yes, sir.
And you went to school in the city of Revere?
Yes, I have.
Could you tell us a little about your youth, your education up to as far as you went?
Well, certainly patriotic, as we are patriots, in a sense. That's our symbol. But the class, I grew, 1981. I lived Patriot Parkway. I've lived on Vane Street, off Broadway. I've also lived in Beachmont, Shirley Avenue
You've been
area.
around.
So Revere, as it is, as I said, my grandfather has been a veteran, so my mother had a sense of what was necessary from what I'm gathering, and in that too, I picked up on, and it saddened me that we're not being heard, and as I say, it makes no difference our origin.
Can I ask you a question, if I may?
Yes.
You mentioned about your grandfather being a veteran.
Yes.
World War II or Korea?
World War II.
Oh.
Army, PFC, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah, and family, as I say again, rich or poor, the fact is, sometimes it isn't. Here's another factor. I've also worked at the Veterans Outpatient in Boston.
At the VA hospital?
Yes, well, no,
That's-
the outpatient clinic on Court Street,
Oh.
which is now a shelter and so administrative.
That's where the school building is, across the street from it?
Exactly.
That's the homeless veterans that live there.
Yes, and how long? Go ahead.
That's sad. That's sad. I've seen them. I hate to say this, Cheryl. I used to work in Boston, and I would see them laying in the street.
And I entirely back you, sir. Sometimes, but we're misled too, in a sense, that we leave our, what saddens me too is that we leave our homes, and again, as I say, through the youth, we need education, awareness, as I say, we need to have, and we have so many different surrounding communities. I've lived in Winthrop as well. I've seen segregation occurring, and there are more immigrants, so it is natural. It isn't a prejudice that we don't branch out and reach out. But we are reaching out, in a sense, through our families and the neighbors. And we are, not that we have to go to war, we are in conflict. I've gotten a call this evening from Mr. LaRouche's campaign as such. Could you elaborate a bit on, do you know who he is?
No.
No, so I haven't it fully, but what I did agree with that, there is conflict within the presidency. But what I understand is that we do not back down. We do not back down. We do not give up. We continue. We continue through all that I'll tell you, the wars that we've seen grow. 2000 and we've had 9/11. My children, which brought me out more to basically to make my voice my concerns and to put myself on candidacy, because I am very adamant, and I really strongly, I've given so much to my own family, and I want others, I want others to realize you can without going to war.
About your family.
And provide housing.
Tell us about the grandchildren, their names and...
My children, I have, there's decades between just about. I have Danelle Elizabeth. She is late 20s, and she's very productive. And I know it stems from family. I was told such by a teacher. And I'll tell you, when we have education, there is positive. It is good to be positive. And to pass on every day. We truly, I have my son who's in Suffolk University, who I'm hoping he's a presidential, I won't be too shy. He gets it from his mom. A mom raises children. A woman can be a mayor in the city of Revere, yes. And she backs the individuals who are here as well. But also, I have to speak for myself. They're preliminary, September 1st. Please vote. I have to plug myself in here. Mr. Reggio, and as counselor he is, and Mayor Rizzo. Yes, sir. I had seen him out at the Sandcastles, and I've gotten a photo shot with him, which is great. So, but yes, I really think positive. Here's a book as well. It is, oh, wait, here we go. I have to get more accustomed with the camera here. Think positive.
Right.
Think positive. So, again, as far as working in the city, I've worked at the Revere League for Challenged through summer jobs. So there is initiative out there for the, and as I say,
Cheryl,
with family.
excuse me
yes.
for interrupting you. We have a couple of minutes left, so you take a minute
we've
and a
already-
half. You take
Okay,
a minute
check.
and a half, but you got to leave me a minute.
All
Yeah,
right,
got
folks, Okay, again, I'm not a camera, I can practice with camera all I'd like, but the facts are, I hope you've gotten the main idea of why I'm here for my candidacy. I strongly believe family are important in residents, in the taxes. I want to do away with the best we can, even if there's a start. Also, I am going to be out campaigning rather through any type of artistic endeavor. We hear all sorts of, listen, the fact is, I am here to help the people for the City of Revere to thrive and be productive and work with the council. And if I need to take the current mayor on as a manager, member, whatever the position, the facts are preliminary September 1st. Please, folks, vote me in. And again, I will be out so you can see more of me. Natural health, insurance, employment. The fact is, housing, people want to give back to families, and I will be the mayor to do that for you with the help of the departments and with the help of a good people. I will be interactive with you as well. Yes, I certainly will. And so I want good endeavors, creativity, arts for the children, drama, as I'm doing now. I'm going to be having natural health out there. Also, I'm going to show, just to give you some visual on what my concerns are. And I really strongly think that we can be a positive in our communities. And we can eliminate some of our surrounding neighborhoods as overly popularized in businesses. Another major factor is abuse and substance abuse. And I have a plan by getting onto and speaking with the liquor license very, very strongly as mayor. That is my position. If I wish for programs
Cheryl,
not to be so present, thank you, our liquor.
I want to say it was a pleasure to have you come on our Revere TV.
Yes,
God
okay,
bless you, Cheryl.
Thank you, thank you for having me. And citizens, keep the good faith.
Right.
And don't give up hope. We're here for you.
Thank you, Cheryl.
All right, thank you, sir.
And let me say to the people of Revere, thank you for listening. God bless our troops, and especially the city of Revere. But most of all, God bless our great country, the United States of America. And to you, Cheryl, good luck on your endeavor. And thank you for coming up on Revere TV.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
God bless
you.
the troops.
Right.
And go on and forward we are.